But Mark, for you, it's personal. This was your brother. And just so everybody knows, Mark wasn't part of anything that his brother was doing in this regard. He's never been connected to it. There's never been a suggestion. It's not about that. But Mark, you do not believe what the administration, the Trump administration, is putting out about your brother now. Why?
Well, every time they say something or do something to try to quash the fact that he was most likely murdered, they just put their foot further down their mouth. I mean, for instance, Cash Patel in the congressional hearing, he listed his credentials as a prosecutor and other such things, and he said that it was a suicide. He said, you know a suicide when you see it. That's basically what he said. So the questions that popped into my mind was, first of all, number one, how many suicides has he seen? Number one. Two, is he a forensic pathologist? Does he have a medical degree? Does he have a certificate that he passed the CPR course? Does he have a Boy Scout merit badge for...
Last night, something huge dropped. Jeffrey Epstein's own brother said point blank, if the truth about Trump's relationship with Epstein came out, the last election wouldn't have even happened. It would have been canceled. That's how explosive the information is. But wait, it gets even crazier, because now Epstein's brother just went public again. And this time, he's got video footage of Trump and Epstein that's been buried for decades. We're going to break down all of it and what it means for Trump's future. But real quick, if you support what we're doing here, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It genuinely helps us keep this going. So here's what Trump did last night. He tried to pull a classic move distraction. He jumped on Truth Social, telling everyone to watch Sean Hannity. Then Tulsi Gabbard shows up with some new Obama conspiracy totally unhinged.
Now, to me, it sounds like you have appointed, powerful bureaucrats that just flat out created a narrative that was false to undermine a duly elected president. Now, if that's not a grand conspiracy, I don't know what would be. Do you see crimes here?
I do, Sean, and I'm referring all of these documents that we have found and uncovered, referring them to the Department of Justice for further investigation. Accountability and action, not just investigation, but action. Accountability has to take place. The American people's ability to have faith and trust in the integrity of our democratic republic is literally what's at stake, and therefore the future of our ability to exist as the country that we know it.
The usual deflection, Hillary, Russia, Biden, deep state hoax. You know the drill, but this time it didn't work. Trump basically admitted it this morning. Posted about how MAGA will never be satisfied. Translation, even his own base is starting to turn on him. They're pissed. They feel betrayed. And here's the kicker, it's not just Trump caught in this mess. Jeffrey Epstein's brother dragged someone else into this. Another big name, someone close to Trump, Steve Bannon. Now, remember, Elon Musk was the first to throw shade, saying Bannon's name showed up in the Epstein files, but this latest drop from Epstein's brother, it connects the dots. It strongly suggests there are hours of tapes. Yes, tapes, and Bannon is smack in the middle of them. And let's rewind to 2019. Who was president then? Trump, and who was trying to help Epstein clean up his image back then? Yup, Steve Bannon. Why would he do that? Why help Epstein? Why protect him, and why does Bannon seem desperate to keep those tapes buried? Elon Musk accuses Steve Bannon of being in the Epstein files and exposed to Roger Stone. The feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk back with a vengeance, and the ex-owner seems to be enjoying the MAGA outrage at the White House over the Epstein files, tweeting up a storm Tuesday and lobbing an accusation at a key ally of the president. What was once a bromance, of course, is cracked over Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill, while Pam Bondi is trying to cover up the Epstein files. Years of conspiracy-infused accusations about the convicted traffickers, purported client list, and other damaging information he and his accomplice, Gallant Maxwell, supposedly knew about powerful men fueled by promises from people now in very high positions in the Trump administration is driving MAGA crazy. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon has had a rocky relationship at times with the president, but has been a staunch ally recently. Undoubtedly due in small part to the last-minute pardon Trump issued at the end of his first term for Steve Bannon's wall scheme, over the years, it has been reported that Bannon advised Epstein on how to respond to allegations against him, providing media, training, and record hours of video footage with Epstein for a documentary that has never been released. Musk took aim at these facts Tuesday, replying to an ex-post by Roger Stone, another beneficiary of Trump pardons, that mentioned Bannon's repeated meetings and coaching sessions with Epstein. Bannon is in the Epstein files, Musk replied. It feels like everyone in Donald Trump's circle had some kind of link to Jeffrey Epstein. Apparently, Bill Barr had ties to Epstein too. Trump's first term, Secretary of Labor played a key role in letting Epstein off with one of the lightest sentences possible. Now, attention is turning again to Steve Bannon because of how similar his media training sessions with Epstein were to the ones he gave Trump. The strategy, misdirection, distraction, manipulating headlines, and it's all resurfacing now because of these deep ties, what they might be trying to cover up. The shocking part? It's not coming from reporters, it's Epstein's own brother dropping this bombshell, raising serious questions about Trump, Bannon, and their connection to Epstein. Epstein's brother demands Steve Bannon's secret footage. Jeffrey Epstein's brother is demanding to see the 15 hours of unreleased footage that Steve Bannon has of Jeffrey Epstein. Let me see the video takes. Mark Epstein said in an interview with NBC News, "He's my brother." The footage was recorded in 2019 before Epstein's arrest on sex trafficking charges later that year for a documentary that is yet to see the light of day, titled The Munsters: Epstein's Life Among the Global Elite. A teaser for the documentary obtained and published exclusively by the New York Post in 2021 showed Bannon, Trump's confidant, a Republican strategist and media figure, confronting Jeffrey Epstein about all of the depravity you've done against young women. No, I've always believed that women will in fact be able to take over, said Epstein, who died in his prison cell in 2019. The offender also claimed in the clip that he was a firm believer and supporter of the anti-sexual harassment movement. Time's Up. Mark Epstein told NBC Friday that Bannon told me he has like 15 or 16 hours of videotape of Jeff. He was trying to help Jeff rehabilitate his reputation. He said that he was told this when he met Bannon after his brother's death. They spent a lot of time together, Mark Epstein added, referring to his brother and Bannon. Since his brother died in August 2019, Mark Epstein has pushed back on the official suicide ruling, that he had endorsed the conspiracy theory that his brother was murdered. Earlier this month, he addressed the FBI's memo, denying that his brother was murdered, telling Fox that it was stupid. See, MAGA keeps screaming about conspiracies from the Obama years, but completely ignores what happened under Trump's watch. Why? If you're so obsessed with finding the real criminals, maybe start with the guy who had every reason to silence Epstein. And let's not forget what the FBI was doing around this time. Flagging anytime Trump's name showed up. Chris Hayes even reported on this.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. Donald Trump is doing his best to fight his way out of the Jeffrey Epstein mess he has created for himself. Tonight, filing a lawsuit against the Wall Street Journal and News Corp and Rupert Murdoch himself for their report of his alleged birthday letter to Epstein. This while his Department of Justice scrambles to kinda appear to release some of the Epstein files in an effort, obviously, to placate his agitated MAGA base. We're going to get to the lawsuit in a minute. But first, the Department of Justice filed a motion to unseal grand jury information from both the case of late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his associate, currently in federal prison, Ghislaine Maxwell. On its face, it appears to be a good thing because people want transparency. They want the files released. But there's a huge caveat here. Not only is the department going to redact identifying information about the victims, which they very well should, they are also going to redact identifying information about anyone else whose name might come up in the documents in question. Quote, the department will work with the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York to make appropriate redactions of victim-related information and other personal identifying information prior to releasing the transcripts. Obviously, all victim-related information absolutely must be redacted. but also, like, why redact the other personal identifying information? I mean, if you are trying to look like you're transparent, avoid looking like you're covering something up, that seems like probably not the best way to go about it. But that is not the only big revelation we got today. The top Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, which of course oversees the FBI and the Department of Justice, now says that the Bureau agents were instructed to flag to DOJ about any Epstein records that mentioned Donald Trump. Get this is a new letter out today to Attorney General Pam Bondi from Ranking Member Dick Durbin, who writes this, quote, "According to information my office received, you pressured the FBI to put approximately 1,000 personnel in its information management division on 24-hour shifts to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records." Adding, quote, "My office was told these personnel were instructed to flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned."
So, if they were actively hiding Trump's name, is it that crazy to think they also buried this footage? I don't think so. And you know what? Bannon should just release the damn tapes. If there's nothing to hide, prove it. We're going to stay on this story, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. If you believe in holding everyone accountable, no matter the party, hit that like, smash that subscribe, and if you made it to the end of this video, drop a blue heart in the comments. Till next time, stay sharp.